Hey everybody, this is Brian from AutoNavi. So today I'm actually gonna go ahead and install one of our radios on a 2013 GMC Yukon. So the first thing you have to do is actually remove the stock radio, which is fairly simple. All you have to do is remove the actual kit, the actual dash around it, this right here. In order to do so, you need a little removing kit like one of these, and you just run it across the edges, pull it off. Okay, don't be afraid to use some force. It is kind of hard, so just make sure to remove it. Okay, now the next thing you got to do is just actually remove these 8 bolts right here, and that's about it. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward while I remove these bolts, and come back to you as soon as I'm removing the last bolt. Okay, so this is the last bolt here. So I mean, once you remove this, that's pretty much it. Now you can start removing it. You need to remove it from the bottom to the top. So remove this first, now this one, and now you can actually pull out the radio. Okay, now pull it out gently, and then on the back you're gonna see 3 plugs that you gotta disconnect. Actually, that's 4. So just make sure to remove those. Okay. Alright, so these plugs are a little hard, so it'll take you a while, but once you actually remove them, then that's pretty much it. So let me remove this one, and now the antenna. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Now I'm gonna set it aside. Okay, so now with the GMC K series, you do get this, which is the CAN bus. That's the main brain, so make sure that that's connected on the main harness. This is the main harness of the K series GMC. So okay, so this is the actual harness, and I'm going to show you how everything goes plugged in. There are 3 plugs, but you will only need 2. Don't worry about this third one here. Okay, and then you just plug them in. For these, they only go in one way, so don't force it in. It will only go into the correct plug. Okay, so just once you plug these 2 in, then that's pretty much it for the main harness. Okay, so let me plug it over here, and there you go. Now I'll plug this one in here. Okay, and that's it. Now you need to get the antenna adapter and connect that there. Okay, and that's pretty much it. Like I said, you won't need this one here is the actual USB for the stock USB that runs to the armrest. We are not going to use that now. And this harness here you won't need. Okay, so don't worry about that one. You can tape it up, put it aside. Okay, so like I said, we are going to install a K series on this vehicle. So this is the radio here. All you got to do is just plug in all our harnesses into the back of our radio now. I'm not going to connect the iPod and none of that. I'm just just gonna use the main harness and the antenna, all the basic necessities just to put it in. Okay, so now all you gotta do is just push in those cables and make sure that they don't get in the way. It might be a little hard, but yeah, just put them all back here, and then that's it. The radio will slide right in. Okay, so here I'm gonna cut it out, and I'm gonna come back once the radio is fully installed. Alright, so once you actually connect all the plugs and you put this back in, you just have to put in the screws again. Make sure that you put the radio on, then the climate control, and then this right here, the bottom portion. It does only go in one way. Then put in all the screws, put your trim back in, push it in, and that's it. You can actually see it here turned on, and as you can see, the steering controls work, so you don't lose any of those functions. You can, change stations. You have all those features. Okay, so I mean here, this is the radio version, the radio function here. You have your FM1 here, and then you can go to your FM2, FM3, AM1 or AM2. Okay, you can also just hit the band here on the left, do the same thing. So it's all those buttons. If you do want to add like say this station, you get that little plus symbol. You can click on that and choose where you actually want to save it, and that's it. Okay, so that's pretty much this. You do have the seek buttons here at the bottom, but you do have the steering controls. You have the APS button, you have the search, the stereo or mono, and that's pretty much all the radio function. If I go home, you can see all these settings here. You have the analog TV, you have the Opera, the iPod, your settings, back camera, USB, Then you have your main features here, the Navi, radio, Bluetooth, and disc. Okay, you can also scroll and you have more functions, your SD, auxiliary, and front camera. And if you go to the other side, you have your clock there. Okay, under settings, you have your basic audio settings here, your EQ, your positioning. Over here you have your screen. On the actual backgrounds, if you do want to set it, you would click and hold. And that's pretty much it. I'll set OK, and that's it. After that, you have your actual time zone. So here you can change your time zone to your correct one, and that's it. Next one, you have your calibration. Is to calibrate the screen if it's a little off. Under here you have your languages. So of course we have it on English, but you do have more options here. Okay. Then you have the steering controls. As you saw, I connected it and everything works on the steering controls, but if it doesn't work, this is how you would actually set them up manually. Hit this little arrow here and you have these last three functions. This is for your actual logo. When it starts up, you have all these logos. Right now it's set to GMC, but you can choose whichever one you like. This one's your actually GPS path. Before we ship out the radio, we already pathed this for you, so there's no need to change this. The only thing you could change is this auto run. If you have this on, every time you turn on the car, it's going to go straight to the navigation no matter what. Okay, so if you do want to turn that off, this is how you would do it. The hide button, that's just to actually be able to hide the navigation when you want to use something else. That's automatically off, but you could turn it on. And then the last one is just your actual, the factory system information, the radio region, which is in US, and also the brake. If you do want to turn that on, that way only when the handbrake is on, you can watch DVDs. Okay, so I mean, that's pretty much all the functions. I'm going to go through Bluetooth now. So for Bluetooth, you go to the menu here, and then on your actual phone, you go to the settings, and wait for the device to come up. There it is, headset. Click on it. When it asks you the code, it's this code right here, so 4 zeros. Okay, and that's it, it's already connected. So now I can easily go to the music here, hit play, and there you go. That's my actual music from my phone playing now. And if you do want to make calls, you can go here, dial it, or you can dial it on your actual phone. You could go into your contacts. You could download them here, which I'm not going to do, but if you click on that, it'll download all your contacts and you can easily call them there. And then the settings is just if you want to connect, disconnect, and you know, just to change the name and all that. Okay? So that's pretty much the Bluetooth, pretty straightforward. Let me go to the actual navigation. Like I said, it's already pre-programmed, so it's already there. It'll load up. We didn't actually connect the GPS antenna, but it would pick us up right away, and if I were to drive around, it would you know, tell us exactly where to turn, where we are, and all that. But we didn't connect that antenna, so it's just gonna keep trying to locate us. Okay. Besides that, CD and DVD, straightforward CD and DVD. I actually don't have any CDs or DVDs to play right now, so we don't have that. The iPod function, we didn't run the cable, but if you connect it, it'll come up right here. You can switch out all your, you know, your music and all that through the actual screen. Okay, on the other side, you have the SD card. On here, if you open this up, one is the map, and one is the actual SD card. So if you want to install an SD card with more music, videos, you can do so through there. On this other side, you have your USB and the auxiliary. Okay, so you can do that, and in order to do that, you hit this, the front auxiliary, and that's how you would access this here. The auxiliary is the one in the back. If you want to get like an RCA, connect any other kind of device, that's how you would do it. Okay. For USB, it's under this main menu here. So same thing, you connect the flash drive there and have all your music and all that play through there. This one is just the clock, so it just shows you the clock. That's pretty much all the features on this. Under settings here, you have your beep, which I always turn off because it's kind of annoying to customers. But if you turn it on, you can hear how loud that is, and a lot of customers find that annoying, so I turn it off. CCD mirror is if you have a backup camera, this actually mirrors the image. Visual effects, that's just every time you go to a different menu, it does effects every time it switches. PIP, that's picture in picture, so if I were to put in a DVD and hit the navigation, you will see a small little picture here for the DVD, while the navigation is the bigger picture. So if you want to turn that off, you can do so here. The loud is actually for music. If you turn that on, you can hear that it gets louder. And then the front camera, it's just for how many seconds you wanted to turn on before it switches back to the radio. And then here at the bottom you have the black backlight. That's just for the actual radio here. So you can make that brighter or depending on how you want it. The buttons here, you have your select, your band, Navi, and then you have these two ports here. Here's a microphone here for the Bluetooth. And then on this button, on this side, you have your eject, telephone, and disc. Okay, and then this is of course to seek, and your volume. So that's pretty much the whole radio here. I mean, you know, those are all your functions. So I mean, it's pretty straightforward. Like I said, it's an easy install, and you add all these features to your car. So once again, I'm Brian from AutoNavi. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe to us to check out all our other videos. Thank you.